rises of the Oklahoma City Business District, gleaming in the early evening light. Welcome to Durant Arena here in Oklahoma City. We'll see the defending world champion Miami Heat facing the Oklahoma City Thunder. Welcome to our 2K Sports broadcast. Kevin Harlan here with Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, bringing you the NBA on a Monday afternoon. The starting five for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. And one of the guys that is seeing in this one, James Harden.
Well, he's the kind of guy who can take control, lift up his teammates when they need a boost. When other guys aren't bringing that aggressiveness to the court, he's the one that kind of gathers his teammates around, lets them know what's needed to win the game that night.
And here's another thing about it. How often have we seen him hit 2 or 3 shots in quick succession? And then next thing you know, he's turned that into 8 or 9 in a row. He can heat it up and heat up very quickly. You know, one of the things about the Heat since the Big Three has come together is that they've been able to find the right kinds of veteran players to step in and fill specific roles for this team as they've won a couple of championships now.
And that's why teams emphasize the use of screens and picks just to get you some open looks like that one.
Inside to Perkins. And the layup's good off the glass. And it's easy to have players want to join the Heat when they're competing for an NBA title every season. But, Steve, even then, they found the ones that most fit their offensive and defensive philosophy, and that's when they're going to come up big for them.
Yeah, for sure. This team has done such a good job putting together this roster around LeBron and Wade. You think about Birdman in the playoffs last year, Battier coming in here as a stretch 4. They've just found the right players and the right mix, and that's one of the big reasons why this team is back-to-back NBA champs.
Here's Westbrook. Following the basket by LeBron James. Shots good by Durant.
Don't take your eyes off of him because you can make plays from multiple spots on the floor. Put the isolated cam on.
James against Durant. Shoots from the elbow. Goes back up, and it's blocked by Harden. But he gets it back. Three-pointer, Wade. Another miss by Wade. On defense, Miami. First quarter, about a minute and a half in. Westbrook with it. Now guarded by Mario Chalmers. And that one's good. Westbrook's got his first 2 points.
Well, they just gave him 2 points. Defensively, you're going to have to tighten things up here. That's not a good sign.
Chalmers, pass to James. Back to Chalmers. Takes the 3. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Chalmers has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten their first 3 shots to go in for him to start off this game.
Hey, last season, Chalmers missed a game-winning shot. That happens to a lot of guys in this league. But what he did the next game is of note. He made 10 threes, and arguably his best game ever, as he set a Miami Heat team record for makes beyond the arc.
Here in the first, just under 2.5 minutes played so far. Now let's send it over to Doris Burke, who was able to talk with Scott Brooks.
We talked about Chris Bosh, and he talked about the skill set and what makes him so difficult to guard. He told me he's very slippery in the post. You think you have him contained, and he'll just wiggle around this guy for a layup. We can never act as if he has nowhere to go down low. He finds space and room all the time. Guys?
Thanks, Doris. And Mario Chalmers grew up in Alaska. Not too many NBA players hailing from up there, taken with the 34th pick back in 08.
He's played his entire career with the Heat, and really it was a perfect situation for him when LeBron arrived because he's a kind of a combo guard. He plays the point, but he's an excellent spot-up shooter, so he can play off of LeBron and Wade quite well.
He's off on the first. He hits the second from the line.
Put together a great team, fans can get a little wild. When you put together a great team that's exciting to watch too, then they really get wild. And that's what you have to deal with when you go to Oklahoma City. A great team with terrific fans.
Now, here's Chalmers. Perkins pulls it in.
That was a layup. And you've got to knock that down. You've got to convert when you get those opportunities.
Trying to get open is Ibaka. Gets it to fall from the right block. Nice work from Perkins. And back to these great fans in Oklahoma City. They hosted the Hornets for one season in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, you recall. And Steve really showed what a great crowd they could be for a team.
Kevin, I agree. And I think that season when they hosted the Hornets, I think that showed the league that Oklahoma City was ready to become a franchise. And that's why the move from Seattle to Oklahoma City was allowed by the league, because the city had proven that they would support the club.
Free throw drops for Battier.
Well, Miami stormed through the regular season and were viewed as the clear-cut favorites to come out of the East, but it was not as easy as expected. After sweeping Milwaukee, the Bulls gave them a scare. Then the Pacers really took them deep all the way to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
That one falls, so he hits both of them. And for the Heat, the Pacers were their first real test, it seemed, and they had to survive a win or go home against them. It almost seemed Clark to take away any momentum they might have had when they went up against the Spurs in the finals.
You know, it's interesting. When I think of momentum in the playoffs, it doesn't carry over from game to game or series to series. I think each game, Kevin, is really an entity in and of itself. That said, Miami found a way, despite being pushed by the Pacers and being pushed by the Spurs, both to Game 7. It came down to LeBron James' brilliance, but also the hot shooting of a complimentary role-playing winner, Shane Battier.
We've got 1:23 left here in the first quarter. Here's Bosh. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. And first timer of the game called for Oklahoma City. .114 left in the first quarter. Wade against Harden. Feeds it to Perkins. There's the bucket. Good. Perkins got 7 points in the game.
Well, I tell you what, I need to see some more assertiveness out of these defenders. They're not getting the job done.
Yeah, that's 10 of the last 12 points they've allowed on good looks right at the rim.
Now, here's Chalmers. An easy 2 points on the layup. He has 5.
Gotta love the finger roll up and over the defense.
Oklahoma City trailing. And here's Harden. And he's going up for the alley-oop. That basket right back. Goaltender, the official call.
You got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Miami's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Wade gets a screen from James. Wade dishes the box. Shot clock at 6. From deep, James. The rebound by Harden. Pass to Westbrook. Durant against Battier. Durant, no good.
If they could end every possession with that shot, they'd be happy. 9 times out of 10, that's an easy layup for them.
And that concludes a high-scoring first quarter with both teams tied up. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And when you consider how the Thunder are doing, Steve, Clark, what do you think?
Solid first quarter for this club. They came out strong, and they've put together some nice momentum here.
Steve, I like the looks they've gotten on offense. A lot of good ones. You know, Miami went to that smaller lineup last season, and a big change in that was having Bosh move over to the 5 spot. Not his natural position, but I thought he held his own both offensively and defensively playing in the middle.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups, courtesy of Battier as the second quarter gets started. And for Miami, look at who they've got out there. On the wings, it's D-Wade and LeBron James. Bosh is out there with Battier, and it's Chalmers in at the 1 spot. It's Harden with the drive. Here's Perkins. Gets to the rim for 2 with the heat all over him. Perkins got 9.
Yeah, he crossed the boards with purpose right there. Well-deserved second chance points for him.
And for Bosh, playing the center, Steve, he's giving up some weight out there.
But he's a very smart defender. He avoids fouls, and the way the league is these days, most teams play smaller, and Bosh can normally find a center that he can guard without too much trouble. But there are a few matchups around the league that are a problem.
Well, they got the speed and the pressure of that Miami defense. You think they're able to compensate for any lack of size inside by using those other things.
Yeah, that's normally the case against, I would say, the vast majority of the league.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, as you know, Kevin Durant is a real gym rat, a guy who just loves the game of basketball, and he enjoys studying the greats. Maybe his favorite? Durant smiled. Larry Bird is a guy I like watching. I watch film on him all the time. I like his approach to the game, his competitiveness, how low maintenance he was. He played hard. He played for the love of the game, and that's what I've got. Guy's one of the best small forwards in league history. Not a bad role model.
No doubt about that. Thank you, Doris. So 1 for 2 that time at the stripe.
You know, with so many high hopes, the Thunder seem to be everybody's pick to make it to the finals once again. They were so dominant throughout the regular season. Many thought it was a foregone conclusion, but the injury to Russell Westbrook kind of sidetracked all of that.
Here's Westbrook following the basket by Bosh from deep Harden, and that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. 6 points for James Harden.
Blue there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Wade outside. He tries for 3, and good on the basket. Book it. Wade's got 7 points in the game. And back to the Thunder in the postseason. They did well to get by the Rockets after Westbrook injured his knee. But, Steve, they just didn't have the same dynamic punch when they later faced the Grizzlies. Ended up getting bounced out in the second round.
That was a tough matchup for them because the Grizzlies are so good defensively. And when you take Westbrook out of the lineup, all of a sudden it changes everything. I thought Oklahoma City battled, but they just didn't have enough firepower without their point guard.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They got to get more intense.
Harden against Wade. James Harden outplaying from deep. Harden's got 9 points in the quarter.
It was a slow start for him. He started to take off since we hit the second quarter, guys.
Timeout called for Heat. Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He was taking the time to go over their strategy against Harden. With the damage he's been inflicting, Coach said that every man on the floor has got to be aware of where he is at all times, saying, quote, one-on-one defense is not going to get it done against him today. You've got to help each other out. Also, he said that he'd like them to operate quickly on offense, finding and taking shots early in the shot clock. Well, Coach not wasting any time in tweaking the game plan. We'll see if it makes a difference as we approach halftime, Kevin.
All right, Doris, thank you very much. And let's take a moment, guys, to get your take on the scoring so far for the Thunder.
We've seen a lot of their points coming off penetration in this first half.
You know, one other thing that's clear is how well they're burying their jump shots here in the early going.
You know, if you just look at the numbers without knowing who Dwyane Wade was, you'd think he was probably 6'7" or 6'8", but the way he blocks shots and rebounds, even at 6'4", he just plays much bigger than he really is.
Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. And you go back, Clark, to that big man game for Wade, averaging about a block shot a game for his career.
Well, you think about it. He's 6'5", but he actually has a 6'11" wingspan, and you're not going to find a stronger guy at the shooting guard position. He's over 220 pounds, and there's nothing extra there, so he brings a lot to the table.
Now, here is Ibaka to the middle. LeBron with the block. They retain possession. It's Ibaka. That time on the assist by Westbrook. Ibaka's got 5 points so far. Well, he trailed by 5. And Chalmers gets the Bosh. He dishes it to Wade. Solid play on the low block, and that one's good. Wade's got 8 points here in this quarter. Oh, wow, guys, doesn't look good. We've got an injury here.
Yeah, he's not happy right now. You can see it's really hurting him.
You sure can, Steve. I mean, it's difficult to say exactly how serious it is, but hopefully we'll have an update soon.
Norris Cole, he's checked in for Dwyane Wade. Westbrook against Chalmers. The three from Harden. Chris Bosh with the rebound. Bosh has got 3 rebounds now in this one.
You know, not only is the game neck and tight, but the rebounding battle is too. Extremely close on the board.
Both teams have really put in a terrific effort down low.
Now here's LeBron. 5 points in the game. Out to Battier. Shoots it. Yes, and it's LeBron picking up the assist. Now just a 1-point Thunder lead.
You know, Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra worked his way up from the very bottom in that organization. I mean, he got his start as a video coordinator, and through years of hard work and dedication, has really become an outstanding coach.
Here is Harden. Following the basket by Shane Battier. Another miss by Harden. Miami's gone 3-6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Chalmers gets to Battier. Bosh dishes to Battier. Bosh drives in. Right through the D for the layup. Bosh has got 4 points this quarter. And back to Coach Erik Spoelstra. As a guy who got his start as a video coordinator, picking the game apart. Steve, he's very comfortable with the new advanced stat move and with us in the NBA.
Yeah, and I've had a chance to speak with him quite a bit. He says that the way they use advanced stats is just as a conversation piece in the coaching room. Their analytics department will bring them various information, and it will force them to ask questions, which is very healthy for a coaching staff to do.
Michael Beasley, he's checked in for Cole. The Heat have gone a superb 7 of 7 from the field here in the second. Beasley gets to Chalmers. Ibaka against James to the paint, and it's out of bounds. The Heat able to retain possession here. The Heat making the switch here. Six to shoot, and it's on its way from Chalmers for 2. Off target with the open look, and here comes Westbrook. James with the block, and he gets it back. He knocks it down, but wait a minute, the officials are getting together. They may want to review this one. And the teams are going to have to wait before heading to the locker room. They're going to bring out the monitor and see if he got that shot off in time.
You know, I've always felt that video review was a great addition to the NBA rules, especially when it could have such an impact on the outcome of the game.
I agree, Clark, and very tough to tell on this one. We don't see a lot of these reviews, but a good percentage of reviews ultimately end up in an overturned ruling of what was originally thought to be a basket or not.
And the official call is in. It's ruled a basket. They overturned the original call after looking at the replay.
And Kevin, this is exactly why we have this rule. I think they made a great decision putting the rule in. The main thing is you want to get it right, and they definitely got this one right looking at the replay.
Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Thunder lead by 1. And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Dwyane, give us your perspective on that first half.
I like the way we started the game. Sometime on the road we start off slow, so I thought we got to the fight early. And it's two good teams, so, it's the way it should be.
Dwyane, thank you. Always fun to watch. Guys, over to you.
All right, Doris, thank you. And folks, make sure to stay tuned in for halftime, and we'll be back right after that.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Hi and welcome. Halftime report coming your way with an excellent game going on in Oklahoma City. The Thunder are in a tight contest against Miami. A dramatic advantage in the paint. They're getting right in close and converting the kind of buckets they want. James Harden has been locked in so far. At the break, 11 points, and so far, he's done a great job playing lockdown D. And it was a good first half as well for the Heat. Their great passing has been fun to watch, keeping the ball moving and picking apart that D. A sensational first half for Dwyane Wade. He's got 12 points, and he's helped out with some key rebounds as well. That's all we've got here. Now, back to Kevin, Steve, Clark, and Doris for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
And it's been a back-and-forth game so far with no ground given through the first. Third quarter starting here now.
We've seen D-Wade getting it done. 12 points, and from long range, he's hit 1 3-pointer.
Yeah, and you'd expect by the end of this game, I'm sure the numbers are going to look even better.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West. No surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
At the 4 with Perkins on the pivot. The Westbrook at the line with Harden and Durant flanking in at the 2 and 3. That's the work for Scott Brooks getting going here in the second half. Okay, timeout for an injury report.
Guys, I got an update from head athletic trainer of the Heat. The news is not good at all. It looks like a broken ankle with a distal injury to the cervical. We're starting to come to the grinding part of the season, and it has to be a real blow for this team to lose a player like him at a time like this.
Doris, thanks for the update, guys. It doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, you can't afford to dwell on it. I mean, you got to come up with another plan and move forward.
And that's not easy to do, guys, because it's very emotional for everybody on the team to see him go down. But you're right, they've got to figure it out and move on.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to Doris Burke for an update. Hey, Doris.
Well, gentlemen, head coach Eric Spoelstra of the Miami Heat finally getting the respect he deserves now with their multiple championships. But his players, not afraid to rib him a little. Dwyane Wade said Spoelstra's favorite word, focus. He said, here's what it sounds like to play for my coach. Come on, guys, we have to focus. Next game. Come on, guys, it's about focus. Or maybe 2. Guys, it's about focus. Kevin, it's all about that consistent message, right?
Steady hand, Doris. The players seem to really appreciate it. And the Heat all-time heel. Mark, adding on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
It's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those goals.
Any extra possessions that you can get, either through steals or rebounds, are so critical in this game.
And I think Doris Burke has some for us right now. Doris?
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He was going over their task, keying in defensively against Harden. He's given them nothing but problems, and Coach was all over his guys, imploring them to up the aggressiveness and attack him defensively. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris. Falls for Cole.
Hey, we all know how hard it was for the Thunder going into last season to trade away their 6-man star, James Harden, but It was something that had to be done. They really missed his playmaking ability, though, and I think they missed him in the locker room, too.
And both free throws good for Cole. And for the Thunder, a financial decision to trade away Harden. They've already tied up Steve money in big contracts to Durant and to Westbrook, Ibaka, and Perkins.
And Kevin, I think a lot of people questioned why they didn't keep Harden and maybe move Ibaka or Perkins. I think Perkins would have been maybe the best option, but he's really looked at as their best post defender and a guy who brings leadership and toughness. So it was a very difficult decision, but there's no doubt this team missed James Harden.
The Thunder leading by 8. Harden with it. He's got 17. Outside Durant. From past the arc. And that is good. Durant's got 12.
Now he's a spot-up shooter, one of the best. One of those guys who, if you give him an inch, that's all it takes. He will let it fly and frequently knock down that shot.
And you know what, Steve? We also have to talk about his shooting. I mean, the fact that he copes with tight D better than anyone is something to make note of. His percentage stays the same, and if he's wide open, he's automatic.
Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin, during that break, Coach Scott Brooks had some words for his team. He wants his players to step up the pace. He told them they should be looking to get out front every chance they get. There's still plenty of basketball left to play, and as we watch how these adjustments play out, Kev, it'll be interesting.
Thank you, Doris. Here's James. After the made shot from Perkins. Chalmers dishes the back. And stolen by Perkins. Westbrook against Bosh. Outside Westbrook. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. The drive by James. Chalmers against Westbrook. LeBron passes to Bosh. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. 14 points for Chris Bosh.
You know, one thing with Scott Brooks, guys, he's very consistent with his message. You listen in on those timeouts. It's all about getting stops. Defense, 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 and letting their offense come from that.
Now here's Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving the ball around. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Fires from the corner. The offensive rebound. Ibaka. Some solid defense from Battier.
Pretty good defense there. I mean, that's a shot that he can make, but they really challenged him.
That's to Bosh. He feeds it to James. Bosh, that's the pick for James. Out to Battier. Throws it from outside. Battier's got 7. And Clark, you mentioned Brooks' single-mindedness stayed pretty constant with his rotations, too.
And there's no doubt players appreciate knowing their role, but, you know, a lot of critics have been surprised at how Brooks has stuck to his lineups. Some lineups that didn't seem to be all that effective. You know, his usual starting lineup with Seth Wilson, Perkins on the court hasn't been their best in terms of plus-minus, but Brooks very loyal to his starting group.
Here's LeBron, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. James kicks to Bosh. Shoots from 14. That one rolling around and rims out.
Oh, they're now +5 in the rebound category, really controlling the glass.
And rebounding is one of those non-glamour stats. I mean, it takes work and effort and tenacity and physicality. But when you look at the scoreboard, you can see the correlation.
And offensively, a great show for the fans through the first 3 quarters. It's been a fun game to watch. Oklahoma City out in front, up 8. And we're coming back in just a moment. Get ready for the 4th quarter of action when we return. Shots continuing to fall as we conclude the 3rd quarter. Both teams putting up points. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, let's do it. I love the way this play developed. He took what looked like a difficult pass and turned it into an easy basket.
And so here is Miami trailing here by 8 on the floor for Miami starting the fourth. They've got Norris, Cole. LeBron James is out there with Shane Battier. Then there's Chalmers. And it's Bosh in at center. 6 on the shot clock. Battier cannot hit. The Thunder leading by 8. Here's Durant. A shot from the low post is good. Durant's got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for the Thunder. Miami's gotten fewer than half of their three-pointers to go down tonight. They're 4 for 9. Here's Bosh. Count the bucket. Bosh has got 10 points here in the second half.
What a display of offense we've seen today, and it's only getting better. Well, both defenses have been on their heels all day, and it's begun to take its toll.
And here's Harden for 3. And it's hauled in by LeBron. The Heat trail by 8. The feed to Cole. Kicks it out to James. Takes a 3. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Westbrook's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Durant for 3. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Westbrook's got his 8th assist in the game.
This is incredible. It's been a 3-point drive since halftime.
Yeah, whether by design or by accident, it has been impressive.
And the Heat call time here.
I think Westbrook may be the most explosive player in the game right now. I mean, you've got Wade, Kobe, Derrick Rose, but I think Russell Westbrook, with his speed and quickness, is probably the guy right now.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Eric Spoelstra was going over with his team in that last huddle. He let his players know that they've got to do a better job on defense. He said they're scoring any way they want. We've got to show some pride here. Let's make a stand defensively, get us stops, and get on a run of our own. Do they have it in them, Kevin?
A little over a minute and a half of the fourth quarter gone now. And Westbrook really a freak athlete. Like a terrific dunker.
Yeah, he's a guy you would just love to see in the dunk contest, Kevin. But he says he's more of a game dunker and might not shine in the exhibition type format. And I can understand that. The dunks that Russell does in games are so vicious and so posterizing that it's hard to create that same type of tenacity and energy in a contest. So I think there are some guys that are more geared toward dunking in games than winning dunk contests.
Out of bounds, Miami takes possession.
I'll tell you what, that's just a major unforced error right there, guys. My goodness.
The Heat trail by 9. Here's Cole. James outside. And another basket for Miami.
He's been kind of passive today. And, maybe that one will get him going. I think for them to be successful, he needs to be the one to do the bulk of the scoring.
Durant attacking. And again, it's Oklahoma City.
Well, he's having a great half here. Exactly the opposite of the first.
The Heat have gone 3 of 5 here in the fourth quarter. Pretty good numbers coming out of the break. Here's LeBron. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
Well, there's really nothing he can't do on a basketball court. Offensively, I think LeBron's signature skill is his great playmaking ability, along with, of course, his athleticism. That's what really sets him apart.
And Steve, over his career, he's made significant improvements defensively. Awareness, combined with that athleticism and activity, the size that he has, the speed. I mean, he may be the fastest guy in the league. He's able to jump in the passing lanes and chase down shooters at a rapid rate of speed. Also, guys, so often we see him playing possum at the defensive end. And then all of a sudden he springs into action, picks off a pass, and ignites the fast break.
And both free throws good for LeBron.
An excellent game we've seen from LeBron. He has 9 points and 8 dimes. He is in complete control of this game.
Yeah, it's just going his way. Everything falling into place.
They get it back. Perkins. And there's the bucket. Still with it on the offensive glass. Getting it down.
Another strong rebound. Just like we've gotten used to seeing from them today.
Yeah, 1 or 2 more of those and this lead will be double digits.
The pass to Cole. Kicks it to Chalmers. Passes to Bosh. Rejected by Perkins. Bosh against Westbrook. Harden outside. Kicks to Durant. Battier with the steal. And there's the layup. .149 left to play here in the fourth. Harden outside. Perkins with the screen on James. And boy, that looked like Durant. Yes, it is. And so they will award the basket there.
And when you get to that one right in time, Kevin, those can be tough to gauge sometimes.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Thunder.
And they keep piling up the assists, guys. Great ball movement.
Well, you've also got to love how aggressively they've taken the ball to the basket and scored off dribble penetration.
And the Heat call time here. They trail by 10. 1:36 left in the game. Well, if you're just tuning in, welcome. We've got about 3.5 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Here's Cole. Drops in the layup for 2.
Yeah, they're making a statement here, guys, going inside for 8 of their last 10 points.
Time to man up on D and stop these free runs to the rim.
Outside Westbrook. Right side Durant. Here's Harden. And he gets it to go. Harden's got 19 points.
He's got an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the league.
Chalmers against Westbrook. Battier outside. Lock at 6. Puts up the baby hook. Here's Bosh, and they will get the basket here, folks, as they rule goaltender.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
So it's the Thunder now. They've led by as many as 11 points. He lobs up the alley pass, and Ibaka slams it in.
Well, if it wasn't already out of reach, it is now, thanks to this spurt.
Just keep on firing, man. No reason to slow down now.
For Miami, they've gotten into a pretty good groove, going 6 of 10 here in the final quarter. Chalmers dishes to Buck, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
What a great game for Bosh in this. He has 20 points, and he's added a steal to his stat line also.
Now, that's obviously not a big number, but he's been doing some valuable defensive work for them.
That's the first, and that brings them within single digits. And a new group in for the Heat. Both free throws good from Bosh. The Thunder have gone 7 of 9 from the field down the stretch here in the fourth quarter. Terrific shooting. Jackson kicks to Jones. Down low, here's Collison. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Thunder lead by 10.
They certainly haven't let these fans down tonight. Fun night to be in the building.
It has been. I mean, the atmosphere has been great, and no doubt that helped with the winning effort.
Timeout called the Heat. They're trailing by 10. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. And the Heat making a change here. Odin's checked in. There's 25 seconds left in the fourth. Misses from short range. Oklahoma City's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Cephalosha. G right on him. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. How much to be critical of at this win, Clark?
Not at all. I mean, they showed up not just to play. They showed up to give great effort and to win. They did both.
And time out of the court side as we send you over to Doris Burke from the side. Doris?
Russell, congratulations on this win. What were the main factors that helped you stay in control of this one down the stretch?
Just try to be aggressive. And we did a good job in all game of staying aggressive. Our defense was key towards the end, and we did a good job of closing the game.
Thank you for the time, sir. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Doris, for that. And now for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan saying, see you next time, as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, James Harden.